Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, the podcast reviews of movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 647, and it is your review of Kwaidan as we conclude Masaki Kobayashi Month.
This man is
And
eating at the beginning.
as always, it is the Nerd Chicana here to host the show. Lots of our wonderful co-host Brad Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful Monday. Monday. I don't know why it's so wonderful, but it is a Monday.
Happy Monday to everybody.
Are you done, Ro? You done eating?
Not done yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy Monday to everybody, man. I went to work today.
Yay!
Yeah.
And that's what keeps America running, the lifeblood of the young.
Coming at you live Monday night here on patreon.com/the nerdcore at the $1 tier. You get access to this episode live and early before anybody else, so that way you can chat with us in the chat, along with getting early access to it before it drops on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Central Time. But before we can get into the movie, Brad, how are you doing today, man?
Doing all right. And nothing to report today.
I'm playing.
Hearing that in the beginning, like, what the fuck? But no, nothing to report. Uneventful. Yeah. So I also went to work. I came back home. I got through the first episode of Ted.
What you think?
I mean, it's Ted. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm hoping it does get a little better going on, but because the first episode was like, yeah, this is what I expected from Ted. But
Eric says that the show is actually pretty fucking good.
The show's not bad, but again, it's the first episode, so yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for it to catch its footing, just based on all the clips I've seen.
Yeah. Well, that's that. I'm glad that you started that. I'm gonna start that soon, but I went to work and I actually watched like 30 minutes of this yesterday, and I finished watching the rest of it today, which made me realize I should have just watched at least half of this film yesterday. And
yeah, 3-hour film. So
yeah, it's a long film.
Long film.
But I finished it, and yeah. And other than that, I just recorded my new video that I gotta edit for this week, and yeah, just did all that, Brad. I just not much going on today. It was a pretty chill
cold.
day.
It's cold and dreary and rainy, so
yeah, it was cold in the morning, and then it started raining, and it got a little bit humid, so that was fun. And then taking out the dogs while it's raining isn't the best either. So.
No, because the dogs are like, no.
Like, I don't want to go, but I want to pee.
No, not doing it.
Yeah. Yep.
You go yourself.
Yeah.
I'll stay here and poop in the house.
Yeah, and you're like, no, that's not what I want you to do. And they're like, no, I don't give a fuck. That's not what
fuck. My paws are wet. Like, no, like you go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Well, today we're concluding Masaki Kobayashi Month here. We've had a pretty damn good month. This was Brad's pick for this for January.
Hasn't been bad at all.
Hasn't been a bad month at all. And of course, we're not completely done. We have a final conclusion to the month on Patreon at the $5 tier. You get access to our mini pod, which we're going to be doing a review of The Thick Walled Room. And we're going to be doing.
You can't hear the screams.
Yeah. So go ahead and look at that, y'all, at the $5 tier and above. You get access to that this Thursday. And of course, with that said, though, I think we should probably get into this, right, Brad?
Yeah, let's talk about some horror movies.
All right, man. Love it when it's pre-1969, so that means you know what that means. Brad, introduce us to Kwaidan.
Yeah, no spoiler warnings for you. I'm going to first read from Wikipedia, as it's more than one sentence, and then I'm going to read from Criterion. I'm going to go a little opposite today. Coming from Wikipedia, Kwaidan, Kwaidan, yes, meaning ghost stories, is a 1964 Japanese anthology horror film directed by Masaki Kobayashi. It is based on stories from Lafcadio Hearn's collections of Japanese folktales, mainly Kwaidan, Stories and Studies of Strange Things from 1904, for which it is named. The film consists of 4 separate and unrelated stories. Kwaidan is an archaic transliteration of the term Kwaidan, meaning ghost story. Receiving critical acclaim, the film won the Special Jury Prize at the 1965 Cannes Film Festival and received an Academy Award nomination for Best Foreign Language Film. Coming from Criterion, what they have to say about Kwaidan. After more than a decade of sober political dramas and socially minded period pieces, the great Japanese director Masaki Kobayashi shifted gears dramatically for this rapturously stylized quartet of ghost stories. Featuring colorfully surreal sets and luminous cinematography, these haunting tales of demonic comeuppance and spiritual trials, adapted from writer Lafcadio Hearn's collections of Japanese folklore, are existentially frightening and meticulously crafted. This version of Kwaidan is the original 3-hour cut, never before released in the United States. And as we go through, screenplay by Yoko Mizuki, starring Tatsuyo Wakatsuki. Sorry, I went a little above. Tatsuyo Nakadai, Rintaro Mikuni.
You
Tetsuo,
just blended two different names, bro.
my brain just shifted. It's because I was reading one line and it was like, nah, no. Kiko Kishi, Michio Aratama, Misako Watanabe, Yoichi Hayashi, Katsuo Nakamura, Osamu Takizawa, Haruko Sugimura, Nakamura Kaneman, Nakamura Ganjiro the
The
second.
second. The second.
Cinematography Yoshio Miyajima, edited by Hisashi Sagara. Music by Toro Takemitsu. And we had a running time of 182 minutes. Budget 320 million yen. Is that
Yen.
yen? And box office 225 million yen. You can't win them all.
Can't win them all, but that's not that bad, I guess.
Yeah.
But same cinematographer who did Harakiri, and of course his Human Condition trilogy. But yeah, we haven't watched it. Yeah. Um. So Brad, this is a popular horror film.
Actually, very
Japanese horror
popular.
film.
Yeah.
Um, and I gotta say, man, I like this movie. I don't necessarily think it's the best I've seen from him, but I had to say this is the grand accomplishment from him. Like this really shows how much he did with like a good budget here, man. He has like a lot of stuff,
A
like
lot of
great,
stuff
excellent
going on.
production design.
I mean, it was kind of cool seeing his film in color. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's of course being shot in Toho scope, so it's so wide, and like I said, it's just excellent production design, great costumes. This music is fantastic as well. I like a good amount of these things in this film, but I also think that I'm not a big fan of the way that the stories are handled sometimes, and I think that they lack a coherent pace sometimes. But Brad, what are your initial thoughts on Kwaidan?
Before we get into that, hi Stacy, how you doing? Stacy says stories and studies of strange things. The Crackle exclusive Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Yep, exactly.
First off, I wanna say what the 4 stories are. That's of course the Black Hair, the Woman of the Snow, Hoichi the Earless, and In a Cup of Tea. I gotta say this was a 3-hour movie. This was a long movie. Uh, duh. But I kind of agree with you. I really like the set. Some of the set pieces in this, like the Woman of the Snow, the
Oh my
background,
god.
the Woman of the Snow in Hoichi the Earless, the background is just painted on in the back, which I think is just amazing. It's literally beautiful how he does that with the lighting and just with the painting of the background. Costumes, music, I agree. I think you can definitely tell this is old school story because they're not necessarily frightening.
No.
Like the black hair, I kind of like the black hair. Just it's a story of a man who did his first wife dirty, and he comes back apologizing. Just he gets it in the end.
Yep.
Um, the Woman of the Snow, I found this actually kind of hilarious. Just the fact that the Woman of the Snow is she kills the dude, and then she's like to the young dude, like, "You're cute. I'm gonna let you live. Don't tell anyone, or I'll kill you." And just leaves, and then she comes back in like in non-snow form and basically seduces this dude,
Yep.
has 3 children, has his whole life, and then when he tells her, she's like, "I told you not to tell anyone," and I'm just sitting there like,
Ah,
technically, he didn't,
yeah.
because you already knew.
Uh huh.
So technically, it's a technicality that he didn't tell anyone. He just told you, but you
Yep.
already knew because you told him not to tell anyone. So he didn't really tell anyone. But
Yep.
I loved it how she used it as excuse just to be like, "Oh, you take care of the kids. I'm going."
Yep. Like those first two stories are kind of hard to like follow with pace, but I think that they're
Yeah.
actually damn good stories. Like they're actually
It,
really
if you think
interesting.
about it, yeah, the pacing's off on these two, but if you think about kind of the stories and how they go, they're actually kind of well written.
Yeah, they
Um,
are. They
yeah,
are.
but there
Um,
would have been a lot more editing, I think, for these had I decided how to do
yeah.
this. Which, of course, I'm not a director, so don't listen to me. Hoichi the
Brett knows
Earless.
jack shit about making a movie.
I don't know jack shit. I just sit here and talk about movies. Hoichi the Earless. That's my favorite
Me
probably
too.
of these 4 movies. I think he kind of hits. I think he gets into his stride with this, and it really
That's when I
does
think the
actually have.
production design is the best, Brad.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
especially when he's just narrating the whole story and everything, and like the paintings are changing, and it's like so freaking beautiful.
Oh, and just some of the cinematography tricks he does, where
Mm-hmm.
he's just like focusing on the ears, and then and Hoichi is like made to look invisible. I thought that was really cool. But I agree, like the whole set design, the whole storyboard of this war between these two. Which, by the way, if you look up the history of the Hiki, which is the story he ends up telling, it's actually a true story. Like there was a war fought on boats in Japan and with like the child emperor.
God damn.
Fucking crazy. Um so anyways, but yes, I think that's my favorite. I think it's overall just the best story in this. Music wise, cinematography, costume, everything. I think I would give a 10 out of 10 for this story personally.
Yeah, that was
Um
my favorite. I thought it was amazingly shot. I think that I really enjoyed the story of this blind musician, and I thought it was
which
the one that, yeah.
it because I really enjoyed the story because it's like these ghosts come to call him, they don't tell him he's ghost, and he can't tell. And then the priests are like, "Why you do that, dummy?" And he's like, "Bro, like I can't tell they're a ghost, and you left me here. Like, why are you leaving a blind man all alone to take care of this whole complex? Like
Yeah.
that's fucking ridiculous."
Yep. Yep. But damn good movie, man. I
Yeah,
thought, I mean, damn good story. I really like
yeah,
that story.
that story. Like if I were, I'll go back and probably watch this one instead of the other 3. I'll go back and watch this one just in particular because there's so much that you can learn throughout it, just movie wise, cinema wise. In a cup of tea, I actually liked In a Cup of Tea, and I thought it did very well for being the shortest movie. Because after these first 3 movies, I think there was what, like 37 minutes left to tell this story. And I think overall I kind of enjoyed it of the whole thing, like just this dude looking at his cup and he's just another dude in there. He's like, and he goes through the motions, and he just drinks them, and it's like, why'd you drink another man's soul? And then taking on the 3 dudes, I really like the kind of the fight scenes in this. I thought that was spectacular. But again, after Hoichi the Earless, this one kind of falls a little, little flat in
Yeah.
comparison, but it's still good. And
I
I'm
thought this one was pretty
surprised.
good.
I'm surprised how he like, and I think the time for it was good. I was surprised how well he could tell this story in 37 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, was very what's it called? Very impressed with the restorative efforts here. I think they did a great job putting this. It's not even full 4K yet. It's not a 4K restoration. It's a 2K, and I think it looks
It looks
fantastic.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. So I
But
like we've been used to just seeing his films in black and white, and now having to see a full like color film was just it's a
well,
great
and
look.
and the black and white films we've seen, he doesn't really do any of these camera tricks he did throughout this whole story. It's like he got the chance to have fun with this story,
Yeah.
and he used color, and he did the whole, like, the background with paintings and eyes, and
Well,
you
he
can tell.
definitely had a different style here. Like he
Yeah.
really did play with the way that he was maneuvering the camera here.
Yes, but he still had those lovely wide shots we've gotten come to love
Yeah.
throughout his movies, and so I'm glad he still had those throughout. The framing in different aspects is always amazing.
Yeah.
Um, so I think this one's another enjoyable one. I still don't think I like it as much as some of his other films we watched, like
Yeah.
Samurai Rebellion. I still think that's my favorite
I
for
think
the
that's my
month.
favorite too. I think
Yeah.
my Samurai Rebellion is my favorite. I think I might have this under Harakiri because
Yeah, I
I
think
enjoy
Harakiri
Harakiri.
might be yeah. Um, but I think overall it's a good movie. I
Yeah.
think all of his movies have been very good, and I'm glad we've done this month so I could find another Japanese director to enjoy.
Yeah, to enjoy. Yeah. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed this movie. I think as well the sound design is freaking creepy as shit. Um, but yeah, the stories are good. Some of them just aren't the best paced, and I think that that's just has to do with how loaded these stories are,
Yeah,
and the fact that if you're gonna adapt these stories, you're probably gonna be best to adapt them fully as they are, and it makes for a loaded film. But I think overall, it's a damn good movie. Not the best that I've seen this month, but it's not the worst.
no.
Yeah.
But the black hair kind of makes me laugh. Just I just love, like, it being wrapped around Paul and then just fucking grabs his face.
Yeah. I thought that was so funny, man. I thought
Yeah,
that
it'd
was so
be
funny.
like the actor really had to act like, I'm being attacked by a wig.
Yeah.
And but the Woman of the Snow made me laugh the most, just because she was like, "You've broken my trust, so you get the kids,
Yeah.
and don't harm the kids, or I'll be back. Bye.
It's like, yep. I'm peacing out. You
I-
are taking care of
I'm
the
going.
kids
I'm
now.
going to get milk." Ah.
Yeah. Hey man, it's time for something to change, bro. It's
Yeah.
always the
So
dude.
some things need to be flipped.
Yeah.
Going out for
Funny as
milk
hell,
and
man.
cigarettes.
Yeah. Milk and cigarettes. Yeah. But Brad, what's your final verdict on Kwaidan?
I think we're giving it an 8. I think 8 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and give it the same score as well, 8 out of 10. It's the same as I thought about Harakiri, but I enjoy Harakiri more. I just think they're
Yeah.
both just great films. That they're made great, and I think that I think I just enjoy one more than the other. Yeah,
And plus, this is what, double the length of Harakiri. I think Harakiri is like an hour 45.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is a long movie.
Amazing achievement though. It's not as long as right, but it's an what's it called?
I Man, the just the set and the color. I like I think all his other films we've seen have been in black and white. So seeing this in color was kind of really cool.
Yeah,
And I mean, the colors just pop off the screen, and then everything he did with that, I
yeah.
think he did it really well.
I think what I like I said, what I really appreciate is the fact that they like. I guess this was him like fully getting his control, and they let him play with it as much as he could.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what, I want to paint sets, I want to do this, and I want to play with the camera more. I think that this just really showed how great of a director Kobayashi is, and how they really like when you let him play, he can really do some great stuff like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very experimental.
I mean, how do you compare this to like Kurosawa's Dreams?
I think that these both are just amazingly what's it called shot films. I think like Dreams is obviously a different film, and I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
Dreams
yeah. But
more.
it's Kurosawa's, like, a very well known movie that's in color.
Yeah,
That's kind of what
I
I'm
think they
getting at.
both look fantastic. Obviously, one has gotten a better restoration, so what's it called? You have more life out of those colors, but I think both look fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but with that said, though, that concludes our reviews of Kwaidan, and of course, we thank you all so much for joining us here at the Nerdcore podcast. Check out our website, thenerdcore.com, and of course, make sure you check out our Twitter at the Nerdcore underscore. Instagram and Threads is at the Nerdcore. Our TikTok as well is on the Nerd is at the Nerdcore, and of course, Patreon.com/slash the Nerdcore for all your exclusives and early access to videos just like the one you're watching right now. And of course, on Discord is our link is in the description below. Whether you're on the audio or in the video side of things, go ahead and join the conversation over there and talk to us over there. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe, I'm sorry, to the channel. Click the notification bell so you don't miss a single review that drops on the channel. And of course, leave a like on the video as well. All of that helps us out so much. And if you're over on the audio side of things, make sure that you leave a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app of choice, and make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast app of choice. All of that helps us out as well. And yeah, man. Another one down, man. Another January where we watch what's it called, where we do another month. Next year will be mine,
Hmm.
and we'll see what we want to do. Um, but it was a great month. I really enjoyed watching these films from Kobayashi. There's more Japanese directors that I'd be interested in talking about. I mean, we've got a big one, fucking Shohei Mamura. You know, we
Hmm.
have Donnie Mamura, which Mamura is supposed to be like one of their biggest names. I mean, the man has 2 Palme d'Ors. You don't
Yep.
do that just like nothing. And of course, like what's his name? Mitsuguchi, Kenji Mitsuguchi, who been wanting to check out for a while too. But yeah, Brad, it was a lot of fun. But we're gonna go ahead and conclude this on Thursday at the mini pod for our review of the Thick Walled Room. But for now, I don't know, Brad. Yeah, a lot of great movies, Brad.
Yeah.
Four great movies this month, and of course, we've made the proposition to you all. If you guys want to see us review the Human Condition, we will do it. But we need two new active patrons
Yeah. To
that
join
stays,
Stacy in there and talk to Stacy.
yeah, that stay for 2 months. So that means the month that you pay for, and then the following month you have to stay, and we'll do it. And
Yep.
we're setting the bar pretty low, guys. Two, it can be $1. We don't care, but as long as we have two active patrons, so they can join Stacy in the chat and talk
Yeah.
with us.
Stacy needs some people to hang out with.
Yeah, guys. So do that, and we will go ahead and do this massive, what's it called, film for you guys.
That's 9 hours.
9 hours of our life that we probably will not get back.
No, but we
Yeah,
we've done a lot of hours for a lot of shitty movies. So
yeah. I
this
watched all of
this
War
one's
and
not
Peace.
being
It's
them.
possible if you break it up. It is possible if you break it up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we need your help to make it possible. And of course, as announced yesterday on the live show, we're gonna be doing some TV watch-alongs now for our commentaries. So at $5, you're gonna get 2 commentaries per month, 1 episode per commentary, and we're starting off with True Detective season 1. So go ahead and check that out by clicking our link as well and visiting us on Patreon, patreon.com/nerdcore. And of course, tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be live with Marissa and Nathan of the Review Crew. We're going to be talking Oscar nominations, and I might go live on my channel to do live reactions at 7:30 in the morning. I will go ahead and confirm for you guys that tomorrow. That might be depends how I'm feeling after coming back with the dogs. If
Yeah.
I'm pissed off because the dogs pissed me off, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm going to bed. I'm sleeping. I mean, I'm gonna watch the Oscars in bed. But yeah, and also don't want to really be on camera with my hair like this and over here. And
Yeah. No kidding.
oh my god. But yeah, all of that's going down tomorrow, guys. So go and check that out. But without a further ado, Brad, like first, let's see what Stacy said here. For just $1, you can join me in the chat, and there they go. You wouldn't think people could run that fast. You wouldn't run that fast.
Stacy's not that bad.
You're not that bad, Stacy.
You're not that bad, Stacy.
Yeah, Brad, let's get him out of here.
All right, Roll. Thank you for being host as always. Thank you to Stacy for joining us in the chat today. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, if you fall in love with an ice woman, expect your heart to get broken and her to run out the door and leave you with the kids. That's just how it goes. Young Yoda.
You know, they usually say, my wife left me and she took the kids. This time my wife left me and she left the
The
kids.
kids. She's gone.